everyone, and welcome to our highlight show for the Grandchester Finals Day 2. I'm your host, Nazi Paikidze, and I'm here with my amazing co-hosts, Yasser, Seirawan, and Cristian, Chirila.
Hey, Cristian, it was an easy day for us.
It was a quick day. Let's take a look at the brackets pre-game. We had 4 players with a tied score. They drew all their games yesterday, and then they switched the colors. It was MVL with the white pieces against Prague, and Levon against Fabi with the white pieces.
Absolutely. And today, MVL played a interesting move, a controversial move against Prague.
After yesterday's roller coaster of a game, take a look at what happened in this one. And MVL started with e4, obviously showing his aggressive hopes for this game. He really wanted to fight. c6 came, somewhat of a surprise from Prague. Knight to f3, and the 2 knights with knight to c3, take on e5, knight to f6, and queen to e2. Of course, one thing that Prague should not be doing in this particular moment is to go knight d7 and allow the checkmate with knight to d6. Of course, he did not do that. Knight takes e4, and the players have blitzed out up to this move, but then the surprise came. Queen to f5, somewhat of a rare sideline, and this surprised MVL, and MVL started thinking, spending a lot of time at this moment in the game. And keep that in mind, because you will see at the end of the game how much time he had compared to his opponent. Queen to f5, bishop to c4, bishop to e6, castle, and a lot of exchanges. And then this move, very controversial move. Yasser, you did not like this move before, but I liked it because it does bring new energy into the game. You want to go bishop to b2, not the typical d4 and then get the bishop out via this side. So after b4, knight to d7, bishop to b2, bishop to e7. It does seem like Prague was still very much aware of how to place his pieces, and in fact he played pretty much a perfect game in this one. Castle, knight to e5, and now we're starting to see the trades because, simply put, black has no weaknesses in the position. There's nothing to play for, and I was telling you about the clock. Take a look at this one towards the end of the game. 29 minutes for MVL, an hour and 3 minutes, playing very fast, Prague, and putting a lot of pressure, and MVL said, you know what? Let's make a draw. Let's repeat the position. And let's hear from the man himself what he had to say after the game.
Indeed, tomorrow there's all to play for. Your experience with him, he talked about some up and down games you guys have had. In maybe he was winning and you were winning, and the opposite result occurred. You also beat him apparently 3-0 in a match when he was less Prague than he is now. What are your thoughts about this matchup for tomorrow?
Yeah, it will be interesting. Prague in general is very capable in rapid and blitz. He showed it this year in the Grandchester, of course, even though his best performances came in the Classic. And I think one time we played in Chennai, rapid and blitz. I won the rapid portion. And I think Grishuk won the blitz, but he was performing very well. And in general, of course, not as a matchup. And also, it's quite different from round-robin events. Preparation still plays a big role in this format, especially when there's so much at stake.
And the game between Levon and Fabiano, that was a very well-played grandmasterly draw. I think so much of the game was actually preparation by both players that when they hoovered all the pieces off the board, the piece settlement was inevitable. Have a look at the video. Cristian, if you don't mind, recap Levon's game.
Let's rewind and see how we got to where we are right now in this game between Levon and Fabiano. Levon started with c4, knight f6, knight c3, and an early surprise by Fabiano with the move g6, pretty much throwing the gauntlet and saying, let's have a fight. Play e4, let's go into a King's Indian type of setup and let's get a fight. Levon says, you know what, no, I want to play it slowly. g3,
in English.
Bishop to g7, bishop to g2, c5, knight to f3, castle, castle, knight to c6, and d4. And now finally we're getting those type of very typical structures. But Fabiano says, you know what, I want to make a draw right now. I want to simplify things with the move d5, which is somewhat of a misjudgment because Levon did have an opportunity. If he would have taken on c5 and after taking on c4, queen to a4, this gives white a slight and quite consistent edge for the remainder of the game. Instead of that, he played the move c takes d5, after which Fabiano, with very precise play, bishop to e3, take on d4, and queen to c4, a crucial move in this position. Knight takes c6, b takes c6, b3. Right now we're going to see a lot of simplifications. Everything is going to get exchanged in terms of pawns on this side, which is going to lead to a very equal position. Bishop to c6, rook to c2. A final attempt, I would say, to get an advantage with bishop to d5. And if you don't see this idea of queen to b5, take on a7 and rook to b7, a momentary sacrifice, because after bishop takes b7, queen takes b7, it looks like you just lost your exchange, but in fact you get it immediately after bishop to e3 because of this double attack with the move bishop to h3. So this is where we stand right now. He did find the move queen to b5, and we do expect...
He didn't even play rook b8. He just
Not
played
even rook to
h3.
b7, bishop h3 first. We do expect a handshake in this one very soon.
And there we have it.
It feels very similar to what we've had yesterday, an early game between these two players, an early repetition, and then MVL and Prague fighting quite hard.
This will be their 40th draw,
That's quite a
11
few.
wins to 6 wins in favor of Fabi.
7, I think.
Or even 7? Sorry.
Quite a few.
I don't want to.
Classical draws.
I don't want to cheat him out of a victory, and there you have it.
Talk about those. You got 2 rapid, 4 blitz. Your history with him, you guys have played a ton. What is your feeling going into those 6 critical games?
Yeah, I think it'll be very tough. I mean, we tend to have these close matches. It's almost never one-sided, so I wouldn't be surprised if we see a repeat of that. I think, like in the American Cup, I did well in blitz against him, and that was the reason why I was victorious against him in the American Cup. But then in the St. Louis Rapid and Blitz, I was playing rather poorly, and he played extremely well in blitz and in rapid. So recent form, he's doing better in blitz. But, I mean, I think it's going to be very close.
Now let's take a look at the brackets after day 2. We'll have Maxim Vashelagrav and Pragnananda playing each other tomorrow in Rapid and Blitz. Maxim will be with the white pieces, and same, Levon stays with the white pieces against Fabi, and all players have 6 points.
Our schedule, Nazi.
As I mentioned, tomorrow it's all fast chess. They'll play 2 rapid games, 4 blitz games, and possibly playoffs if there's no clear winner.
We're expecting a day of excitement for tomorrow. You're not going to want to miss it. In the meanwhile, best of good nights from St. Louis.
Thank you for watching.